of two things. Either everyone's expecting a safety car to come out very early, which is possible, or
highly possible.
Well, yeah, exactly. Or they firmly believe, and I'm completely wrong, that the mediums can easily do a one-stop around this track.
The racing we've seen, Jonty's taking this time. The incredible racing we've seen in the RNL so far, and I have no doubt that we will continue to see that as the season continues, has been phenomenal. But here, it's just such, it's a gambler's paradise in every way of the track.
Well, I'll even let you take the start if you want.
Here we go, 5 lights, time to wind them up and let them big old hold. Oh, that's going to rattle the nerves. Oh, the terrible stuff from the front row. You can see Preisnendel trying to make a move on Infamous. Oh, huge. The Ghetto is out. There was a huge spin. Beaker has got a big penalty. Well, there we go. Safety car before we've even got up the hill. Oh, my goodness. What a start. Tyre strategies. Oh, I bet you they've been rather tested. Here we go. Oh, gets a big old tank slapper there. Ray said he wasn't close enough to really capitalise on that. Not that you really can capitalise on it through the final turn. Here we go again. We are racing here at Monaco. Door behind the safety car. Infamous needs to get past Gooby. Here he comes. He's going to try. Oh, Gooby just committed to his line. Oh, that's going to be side by side up the hill. Nicely done. You don't often see a pass up by Rivage, but nice.
On this track, it's just not doable. He's already on the back of Buemels, but where do you go? Where's the opportunity? He could try on the inside, which is exactly what he's trying to do. Wow, what a lunge. He's managed to just about make it. No damage on either car, but Buemels is still alongside of him. A little bit of a nudge again, and they almost go to the wall. They're still stuck together. Buemels through, but still somehow Buemels is there. Hypers has had to take. This is a very messy overtake from Hypers. He was so desperate to get through. And I can honestly say, I think the stewards will probably have something to say about that. Through, which I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for it here, knowing that Brownie is on those hards and the pace that Nicholas has got. Yeah, look at this already. Wow, it's like he's just got nitrous oxide or some sort of turbo.
No, he pitted on the first lap, so Brownie is very much out of sync with everyone else. Oh, big tank slapper for the Renault.
Oh, no, that's Hyper's bit of wing damage.
That's Pampernick.
Again, still net P2 as Danico is really trying to get out of the way here. He doesn't want to fight this. He just says go.
Got Danico and Dennis Vice right ahead of him as Dennis has bounced off the wall. Oh, this is going to be dangerous for Preisnendel in particular. No, he's the last one trying to get past the Red Bull on the outside of Vasile. Can he get it done?
Wow.
Yes, he can. Oh, someone's had that weird mix for breakfast.
But the worry is... Yonti's got percent. That's not worked out at all. He's lost the rear as a result. There's contact between Yonti and that's a DNF. Safety car is out. This is exactly what Beaker and some idiot needed.
Are tyres really?
Well, you can't go soft, that's the issue.
Of course. Yeah, of course they can't. Because it's started on. Yeah, they didn't say they started on the mediums. Yeah, they won't make the softs last long enough. Brownie is onto mediums. Yonti's come in because he needs another wing.
See, the good thing is, though, now is these guys have gone onto the hards. They are still going to be in a great position. Like, this is the track. Oh, Pampernick. 5-second penalty for colliding with Copy.
As for the top two, if anyone can make those mediums work, it's those two.
Yeah. Here we go, then. Race restart has been kicked off here by Nicholas Longate. A little bit caught out there for Schneider. Again, won't matter though, because he seems to just be faster in race pace around Monaco, or at least he's utilising his ERS better, as Nicholas had a really out of shape entry through turn 1 and exit even worse, as Infamous is still here on the back of this.
Sorry to cut you off, Yonti and Brownie side by side through the final turn. And 3 wide coming down though, this cannot go well. The Renault's gone too deep, and now that's Yonti back into 7 position zones. Another penalty on the board. Oh, that's still side by side coming up. Rivage into Massenet. Good grief, someone's got a blink, surely.
Oh, Buemels and Pampernick as well. They're also going for it. Buemels has got the inside line. He's holding it down. Pampernick's trying to hold him out on the outside line. How are they going side by side through here? I don't know. This is surely going to end in tears. Although Pampernick's got the inside for the hairpin, and that's allowed him to get through because Buemels had to give him that extra bit of space, but he's not giving in. He's absolutely sticking it to him. And Pampernick, what an execution to get through. Will make it up to P10.
Yeah, Longay knew he wouldn't get away with it. Oh, front wing missing.
Yeah.
Well, damn it.
That's Nicholas, isn't it?
Just hit.
That is Nicholas. He's got left foot. He's gone. This is really tough for him. He almost had a chance to go for it there. Nicholas is in so much trouble now. Pressure Knight is...
well, the checker black hasn't fallen yet.
He's going!
Here he comes. Oh. Schneider knew where he was going to go. But, Longe knew where Schneider was going to go. Schneider just wiggling around. He's now got him with the inside of Masame. Oh, what a move. He's wriggled around to try and distract Longe. Longe didn't know where to defend. He's going to try and ying on the inside of Mirabeau. No, Schneider's covered that one off. And
to do anything. And in his debut race, as he comes through the final corner, he has a flawless Grand Prix. He nursed these tyres so far in, and there he goes, getting that race win. Nicholas getting P2. Infamous, who's held out for so long, will cross the line P3, but we know that penalties will be applied. He will drop some places. How far down will he be? Well, let's find out, as Somediat jumps him, so he's going to be P3 for now. Yenab jumps him as well. His teammate jumps him. Brownie jumps him. Pampernick is where the line gets crossed, and Poppy's up to P8. Pampernick P9. Dennis is P10, or at least until Danico gets there. There it is. And then Buemels, who's a bit further back, will make it for P12. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the F1 Grand Prix here in the Rwagnation League. We're in Canada, and it's going to be an exciting Grand Prix, to say the least, especially with all the DRS overtaking we can see. Joining me in the Castles booth tonight is the incredible Jess Games 95. How you doing?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. Canadian Grand Prix is absolutely fantastic. It's had loads of alterations within the years, but it is a track that we see today. It kind of reminds me of places like Monaco, due to the fact that it's kind of a street circuit, and also the long straights like Monza as well, so it should be very, very interesting.
They should indeed. So the driver standings currently stand with Nicholas on the top step with 117 points. It was Hypers there in second, with Infamous already making a name for himself, sitting himself in that third spot. We have sadly lost Nick Turn. He will no longer be participating in the RNL races due to he's lost the motivation for the game, it seems like. So he's left. However, he will be just chilling. He'll be replacing him. So we'll see if he can deliver anything today. Obviously, there's a lot of work for him to try and do that, but this is a team game, and that's where you can see the constructors currently standing with Mercedes on the top. 130 points is where they sit right now, with Racing Point in second on 117. Renault are just 1 point ahead of Haas, third and fourth there, 69-68. Toro Rosso there in fifth, with Alfa Romeo in sixth. Ferrari seventh, Williams eighth, McLaren in ninth, and Red Bull in 10th. And this is the track that they're going to be dueling it out on here in Canada. It's 14 turns, 2.7 miles, with 3 very beautiful DRS zones to boot. You've got some very interesting elevation changes, especially to come out of turn 2. You got that high elevation going into it, and now with your eSport Works hotspots, we're going to be looking at these particular areas as to seeing the action. So turn 1 we saw with Buemels and Beek having a good old battle, and there was a lot of contact, which resulted in one of the cars going completely off track and having to do donuts on the grass. Did manage to recover and get himself back in, but then you've also got turns 13, 14. Now this is probably going to be the major one. As you saw Jorn and Mizzo, they had a really good scrap with Jorn sending it very late into it, tried to get on the inside line. He managed to hold it, and he makes the overtake stick in such a difficult area of the track. Now we're going to go on board with Yonti, who's going to show us exactly how we do this track. That was turn 1, now turn 2. You need to make sure the exit of this corner is perfect, because if you do it even slightly wrong, you will lose the back end. Coming up now into the downhill chicane. This track is pretty much just chicane dominant. As you can see, another little corner here coming up to another chicane, but this one is more crucial than the last, because this one has a DRS straight coming after it. Get the exit perfect, don't touch the outside wall. You will very easily lose your wing as you get your rear wing wide open. Charging straight into yet another chicane. Coming up to, this is quite a quick one, quite relaxed to be honest, especially when it comes to a penalty side of things. That's the area where you can get away with it the most. As we come up to the hairpin, and this is arguably the most important corner on the circuit because of how long that back straight is, and then you're going into a very quick chicane into yet another another home straight. This is where all of the overtake I'm expecting is going to happen. DRS wing wide open as you start the downhill climb. that downhill descent, should I say, into breakabout just before the 100-meter board. Get yourself slowed down to gear 4, clip the inside and the outside beautifully, and get straight over to the outside line and charge down the home straight onto the end of the hot lap. Now, they're going to need to do that, obviously, going into the Canadian Grand Prix. They're going to need to make sure they get some seriously fast laps in, but we do have a qualifying ban on hypers due to, and Samidia as well, and there was one other, but I can't remember who that was, because of them retiring on the grid. And we've lost Dennis, which likely means we're going to have to rehost because he left right as the lobby started. We'll have to bear that in mind. We may get away with it. We'll have to wait and see. Although, you know, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm going to ask you very, very easily. Preschneider couldn't make it today because he's got some connection issues, so he's not going to be battling it out with these guys on the track. We do have Bottas Gang, who's the reserve of the team, filling in for them. He was on standby, ready to go, and Toro Rosso driver said, yep, absolutely, I'll jump into that seat. But Jess, it wouldn't be me if I didn't chuck you into this. I want to hear what your 1, 2, 3 is.
Well, I was gonna. Usually the 1 and 2 is quite easy, but not this week because hypers will be starting from the back of the grid. So I need to try and remember who's got quali bands and who hasn't. So the ones who had quali bands as well is hypers, zones, Dan, and absinthe. Those were the ones who had quali bands. I'm sure you were missing one person, so I just said all of them. Right. So I think
it's rehost.
Oh, is it rehost? Is it?
Yeah. Lobby restart. So
okay,
we are going to have to sit tight for a meanwhile. But I mean, we can talk about the 1, 2, 3.
Talk about the predictions. Yeah.
So you go first.
Right. I'm gonna go for Crow. Is gonna be P1. That's kind of obvious, but P2 and 3 is gonna be quite tricky. Infamous has been consistent. I've seen in the top 3 pretty much for most of these races since he joined. So I'm gonna put him P2, and I'm just going to go for a bold one for P3. I am going to go for some idiot.
Well, he is going to struggle, I think, on this track. This is somewhere that he can be quite quick at and quite consistent at, but it's the penalty side of things. That's the bit I'm worried about. I don't know whether or not he's going to be able to succeed well enough to be able to keep it all in check. We'll have to sit tight for just a moment, because we are moving into, I believe, a lobby restart. I'm just going to confirm. Because sadly, Dennis left us. Yep, it is definitely a lobby restart. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to go to a very short break. It'll be literally a couple of minutes. Sit tight, don't go anywhere. The racing will commence very, very shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the slight delay there. We did, of course, have Dennis having a game crash, which is what resulted in this. However, we have loaded into the qualifying session with all 20 drivers not yet having a game crash. And even if they do, now we're at a point where they can return. So all happy days. Now, we were talking briefly, Jess, just before the lobby rehearsed about who we're looking out for in terms of the top 3. Obviously, Hypers can't get on the top step today or even anywhere near it because in the qualifying, he's going to serve a qualifying ban. So obviously he's going to be starting right at the back of the grid with, I think it was 3 of the drivers at the same time. Dan, and there was 2 others you said. I think
Zones and Absinthe.
Zones, that's it, sorry, Zones. Yeah, Zones and Absinthe. So they're going to be all at the bottom. And you can see Dan's already retired. Now, I have had a weather report, and I've been told that the race is going to go wet off the start, light rain straight after, and then dry after that. So we are going to see a huge variance in terms of the weather on the track, and that's where we're going to start to see drivers have to adapt quite quickly. Qualifying will be very different because they're not going to be going for that wet setup. They are going to be going for that you know, the wet setup to try and push themselves into it. The dry is obviously not going to work out for them, so watch out for when it comes to the final chicane. That's the area I'm expecting drivers to invalidate quite frequently. I am really looking forward to seeing Hypers work his way through the field. How easy is he going to find it? I saw you mention earlier on in a different chat that we have actually, I think we actually commentated it together, where Hypers actually pushed through and managed to get right from the back, right to the front.
I don't think we did. Did we?
I don't
know.
It was WCR, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't do Spain WCR, I don't think.
Oh, well, never mind then.
But I was watching it, and that was insane from Hypers. I have a feeling we could see the same today, but we'll see. You did mention some idiot might struggle. Looking back at it, I think he might do, because it's not a track that he particularly likes because of the similar nature to Monaco. So, but I'm sticking to my word. I'm not gonna just back out my prediction just because you said that. So I'm just gonna stick to those predictions.
Something to bear in mind is that although he may not like Monaco, he did secure a P3 on track. Yes, it got knocked to a P4 later on when one of the penalties got removed, but still, that is a really solid performance. And I don't know if you guys caught it, but he had a reaction to the actual P3, and it was very much Gasly-esque, to be honest. It was very much on that level, which was incredible to see. Nicolas Longuet is currently on track right now, chucking in a hot lap. Now, he has actually been doing only a little bit of practice for this, because this is a track he is naturally incredible at. I think at one point, especially in the 2018 game, I know for definite, he had the world record on this track. It was like a 106.4 or something crazy like that.
He did the Challenger Series last year, I think it was, to qualify for the Pro Draft, and he actually came third. I think he got involved in some contact, but then he came back to actually get a spot in the Pro Draft, and then sooner or later he got picked by Red Bull, and now he's actually going to win to Renault. So, yeah, someone's got validated. It's him, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The one thing I do love about the track map, I don't know if this is for everybody or not, but it allows me to see if they've invalidated or not, because the whole track just lights up red. Oh, he needs to go though. He needs to go before he gets called.
He's got the Haas behind him. Oh.
He was very much in a situation where he could have got DQ'd from there. Now, the other guy I want to watch is Infamous. That was the Haas that was behind him. And this guy is brilliant. I love Infamous. I'm starting to take a massive liking to Infamous. His driving is exactly how I want to see on the track, right? He's got the consistency, he's got the pace, but he's not the kind of guy who just throws it in people's faces, you know? He'll chuck it in, he'll repeatedly do exactly what he needs to. And on top of that, he's incredibly professional when it comes to dealing with people in the public, and it's really good to see. He's absolutely one of my favourite drivers in F1 2019, hands down. So keep an eye out for him going into the race. I mean, looking around as well, there are a fair few. You've got a world champion in there as well, of Mizzo. He's a Season 3 champion. It's his first race back in a few, I think. He did say to me he has lost motivation for the game a little bit, but he's fighting through it, and he's going to be fighting on track in probably one of the hardest weather scenarios you could probably ask for.
Yeah, definitely. And going back to what you were saying about Infamous, he's one of those guys who is kind of like esports material on the likes of Hypers and Crow. So, and he's also in the Pro Draft again this year. So watch out for him in obviously Rwagnation, but also watch out for him in the Pro Draft as well whenever that happens. I don't know when it's going to happen due to this whole thing that we're not going to talk about on stream. We want to keep ourselves happy. But anyway, he used to race on the Xbox. So I commentated on him on Xbox on the F2 days in season 16, I can't remember. And now he's racing in PTF1 and AO1. Obviously, he's racing in this as well. So he's got a really good pedigree right now. And he may not be winning races yet, but he'll probably be winning races soon. And obviously, we've got Bremels to watch out for as well, as he's been looking quite quick recently, trying to pick up the pieces for ones that are not. And obviously, he's on the pad right now, so he's got a name for himself in this league so far. So something I'm going to keep my close eye on. Bremels cross the line. He's 8th at the moment. Yeltec at the moment is on pole with a 107.8, closely followed by some idiot in P2.
Well, I mean, closely, but it's 4/10. Like, Yolta is really stepping his game up. I'm honestly seriously impressed with how fast this guy is. You know, he's still a young lad. He's still focusing on his studies despite everything that's going on. But now he's got an opportunity to become incredible in the Renault car. I really want to see him get another podium. We saw him get one a few races back. I think it was Baku where he got a really, really good result. If he can replicate that here in Canada, I was going to Pampanic going very quickly into the pits. If he can replicate that here in Canada, that would blow my mind because he has incredible pace. It's just whether he can adapt now to the ever-changing weather that's going to be happening on this track. This scenario plays disaster when it comes to racing. You know, some of the guys who obviously are really fast in the wet, in the dry, but they're struggling in the wet. Me, for example, I'm really bad in the wet weather. That is absolutely my kryptonite.
Me too.
It's just a very tough thing to do, and you know these guys make it look easy.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I'm guessing they're used to it already. And some of these guys practice for the wets in balance with their dry practice, where most of us just expect the race to be dry, and then when it goes wet, we kind of act like shocked really because we haven't done much wet practice. But yeah, you know, it's very important just to practice for all eventualities because you never know what's going to happen in the race. It's set to dynamic. There's more wet weather races we've seen in this game than last game, so you know it depends on the lobby, and you never know what might happen in terms of those situations. And this is probably one of the second Canada race in the week where I've seen changing conditions, so it probably must be a curse or something that Canada likes me commentating wet races going into dry. So I'm excited, and hopefully it's going to be a challenge for some of these guys because some of them haven't driven in the wet in a long time. So you know, but I'm expecting the ones near the back or some sort, like Hypers maybe, just climb their way through the field and see other people struggling and gain some places up.
Get ready, here comes Nicholas. Is this going to be the new pole time? No, it's not. It's close though, but Yolta beat him. And Yolta's actually going to be next up to go even faster, but he has not yet done that. And Infamous! Oh, hello! 1074. I was just saying how much I love this dude, and now he's made me even like him even more than that. Oh, let's go, Infamous. Let's see what you can deliver for me today. Keep that up. Now we do have more cars coming to. Yeah, well, absolutely. And I've got to stay impartial. We do have some Toro Rosso drivers coming to finish the last Williams. Sorry, it's just Chillin's done a lap, but he invalidated. Where's the other Williams driver? Am I closing my eyes? Copy is also invalidated. We have a Toro Rosso this time actually coming to the line. Bottas gang did a lap, but not quite quick enough. And that is a Ferrari coming, which is Danico to start a lap. Well, not Danico, Pampanic to start a lap. Mercedes, that is Ghetto, and he's about to finish a lap. He goes P4, 108.0.
Wow.
So even he's showing some raw pace today.
Yeah, and I remember when I was watching the race last week, and he retired. He didn't even make it past turn 1. So he's got some redemption, I think, to make this week, and he's hoping he's going to make further than turn 1 this week, because obviously Monaco is a similar nature to Canada, apart from it's more wider than Monaco, I've got to say. And Ghetto's got an invalidated lap, so.
Oh, Yonti!
Yonti, where did that come from? 1077. Yeah, that's going to work well on the constructors.
Oh, I think we've actually got some towing happening from the Williams drivers. Yeah, Copy has just towed. Sorry, JC's been towed by Copy. Oh, look at that, 108.522. So he's really starting to chuck some time in. We're seeing more and more cars going faster and faster. Who's next? See it? We've got another Alpha driver. Is that some idiot? No, it's Mizzo to start a hot lap. A Ferrari behind him. It must be Pampernick. Who goes P12, 108.8.
Yes, look at those times, Ben. Look at those times. Yeah. I mean, we've seen that in the qualification to get into the Rwagnation League, and we're seeing it here today as well. I mean, these drivers are incredibly fast. I mean, it takes a second or half a second, and you may be last or something like that. It's just, you never know what might happen in terms of qualifying. Even one small mistake, and that might send you into possibly 19th place on where you're going to be or whatever. So, you know, yeah, this is insane right now. So, yeah, two of the Haas in P2, the Arctic in P3, and Crow in P4. But I think Crow may be not showing his true pace yet until the end of the session. So watch out for him.
Yeah, now we do have 2 drivers already out on their hot laps, but they must have been validated pretty early on because they have very low ERS, very high ERS, but they are going again now. So Danico is off to try and chuck in a very quick lap time. Mizzo in a similar boat. He's also trying to smash his name even further up. 108.4 is what they both have right now. Mizzo being that little bit further forward with a 407. Hypers has managed to rejoin now, so he will be able to slot back into his car quite easily.
I think he's only just allowed to do one out lap and then retire.
Yeah, he's allowed to do an installation lap, and that is it.
Okay, so he'll probably do that and then retire. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, yeah, luckily he's in. Some Midi just left the session, though, so that's not good. So hopefully he can come back soon and improve on his lap time. But 6 minutes left to go. It is starting to get a little bit less sunny at the moment. We do have a yellow flag. There's probably people moving out of the way, I'm almost certain. No, it's a Toro Rosso that I've seen. Let me just check. Is it Wemmel? No, it's Bottas
He's just staying out of the way.
Yeah, I think so.
Out of the way. He's not doing anything too drastic to try and secure anything. As Daniel has just put a lap time in, he's now P8 with a 109.386, which knocks Boemel's outside of the top 10, and he's only 0.004 of a second away from Danico. We're starting to see some very quick lap times come in. 6 minutes remaining of the session. We're starting to get pretty close to the near end. Now, I am watching, because I think there's going to be a little bit of a sneaky tactic. Oh, no, never mind, it's already done. I thought Hypers was going to do an installation lap and then tow, get Earn down the back, because he did talk about doing that, but that would have been very naughty, and I'm glad he didn't do that.
Yeah, that would have been naughty, and that would have been unfair for the other teams, but, you know.
Nicholas?
No, Hypers.
Oh, Nicholas just invalidated. Oh, did he? Yes, he did. That was actually Paul right there. He did a 107.399. He was going to be faster.
Oh,
Infamous would have just smashed it even further than that. Infamous with a 107.375. All right, I'm changing my prediction. Infamous is going to win the race. That's it, hands down. I've already signed it. Infamous, I believe in you. This is yours to have. Oh, I'm so ready for this Grand Prix.
You probably just jinxed it now, Ben.
No. His pace is just that good. His consistency is that good. There's no way anyone is breaking that thunder. I have full faith in you today, Infamous. But we are not yet. We're near enough there at the calm before the storm, as a majority of the drivers are actually in the pits. There's only a couple are out on track and they're about to come back in anyway. Ready for that final push, just working out what strategy they want to take, and then off they go.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is where it really counts. The track evolves a bit more, and everyone's probably going to go out pretty soon, in about a minute or so time, just to get their final lap in. Yonti is one's going out first, as well as Copy, so they want to get in their laps in pretty quickly, but they're probably not going to be faster towards the end. But you never know, they may have a time to go for another in lap and then go out for another flying lap if they save enough ERS, but I don't know. And we're seeing a lot of calm before the storms in the chat. I love it. It's great. It is the calm before the storm. And I did see Yonti was on his out lap. He's gone into the pit. So yeah.
Copy's on a hot lap. He's actually about to come to the final chicane. Whether or not he decides to stick with this, yes, he has. He's committed, but he's about to. Oh, I thought that was an invalidation. He is up, but he's only up by about a 10th when he went to the end of Sector 2, start of Sector 3. He does improve. He does go up by just over a 10th and puts himself into that top 10 position. Now, ultimately, the top 10 doesn't make a difference in this race, purely because the wet weather coming in at the beginning means that the tyre strategy just doesn't exist. Let's be honest. It's going to be very tough for any of these drivers to decide on anything here. It's going to be a wet start without a doubt into the intermediates, and then we will have dries later. It's just whether or not they can take whatever tyres they need to go on to, depending when the rain ends. Because I don't know if it's going to end halfway through the race or right near the end of the race. So, you know, mediums, hards, potentially. Maybe even softs if it's that late in.
Yeah, I don't know. I've raced here in Canada many times. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be soft. I think it's gonna two stops gonna be faster around here. I really do. I mean, this is one of those tracks where I think the only way to go is the two stop. The one stop is incredibly like it's slower than the two stop, and the undercut around here because of how short the pit lane is exit. It's huge. It's huge. It's incredibly marginal. So you know, it's a no-brainer really, and it just gains you so much time. So that's why we're seeing more people on the soft due to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the other thing to think about is, well, in the wet weather, they're not going to have an option of strategy really. It's just going to be timing really is all they can look at. Look for when that weather starts to transition into the dry. When the DRS is enabled or disabled, that's the key giveaway. But ideally, you want to be in the pits on your way out as either of the scenarios happen. You want to be in the pits when the DRS is disabled, already changing over to whatever tyres you need to go to. Obviously, it's going to be disabled off the start, so the more looking for, well, the initial one's going to be when the standing water disintegrates, because if the standing water's gone, that's when you go to inters. When the drier line, is starting to appear on the track, inters are absolutely required. Now, Yonti's out on track doing a hot lap. Danico's out on track doing a hot lap as well. We've had a retirement. That's Bottas gang. Did he lose it in the... I think he's lost it on the home straight.
Yeah, I've got a bit of words on the street because it's getting quite dark. Someone told me it might rain at the end of qualifying.
Well, they've only got a minute 25 before that could potentially happen. I don't know whether or not it's going to impact their lap, as Danico has done. He has improved. He's gone 108.280, puts in P8 currently. Where is Yonti? Who's next? Actually, we have a Ferrari to come to the line. That's Pampernick to start his lap. We have an Alpha coming as well, which is Mizzo. He's about to start his lap. Mercedes also starting. Who's out on a lap already? Buemels. He's currently about halfway around. Where's Yonti? Yonti looks like he might be the next car to the line. Yes, he is. But yeah. He's he's either invalidated or he's going again because he's in mode 0. He's not happy with his time. That is Williams almost getting hindered there, not quite. And yellow flag sector 3. That's just slow Yonti. And off he goes.
He goes for one final time then. Who do you think is going to get pole position, guys? Let us know in the chat. It's going to be ever so tight, but I'm sorry. I think my predictions got way out the window, but Crow could get incredibly close and just get a lap right off the par. But I think Infamous has just been looking really good in qualifying recently. So, you know, it could still be there. But if there is a threat of rain, they got to get out quickly, which most of them are. It's not going to affect the end. We've got the checker flag is about to drop then as everyone is about to finish their lap. I'm just trying to see who's going to cross the line. We've got a Alpha coming across the line. It might be Mizzo. Yeah.
Oh, he's hit the wall. That's an end plate gone. He's in trouble.
Yeah, he's definitely in trouble. So he's lost a bit of time there. Who's next? We've got a Haas, which I think is Yonti. No, it's Infamous.
Is this the new pole? He's already faster. He's definitely faster.
No, he's not.
Backed out.
He's backed out.
He lifted right before the line. I don't know why. Because wet start. He's not got anything to lose. He was absolutely going to improve there.
Yonti is coming off the line and he doesn't improve either. And we've got Brownie.
And Dennis and Kai first. Kai first, then Dennis. Kai doesn't improve. Dennis doesn't improve. That's invalidations, I think, for both of those drivers. Nicholas Longue, then the man that we think might be able to disrupt this podium. He's 6/10 faster. This could be pole, and it's invalidated.
Whoa, no.
That would have been fastest lap. That would have been a 107.1. That's insane how fast that would have been, and he just couldn't do it. The invalidation's real. Yolta's retired from the track. He's done and dusted. That is a Ferrari to the line as well. We have one more. Is that Mizzo? No, that's everybody there.
No, that's it. That's
all done.
it.
Yeah, it's all done.
So
unless, actually, no, Buemels could go again. He's still going again. Buemels could really disturb things. He's currently sat on the edge of that top 10.
He's in the pits on my screen.
Buemels?
Yeah.
He's not on my screen.
Oh, right. Oh, he's going slow. He's going slowly. So he's not going to settle up. So, yeah, Infamous is on pole.
I don't know if you may have desync with him then, because he's currently coming up to the hairpin for me.
Right.
Now. And he's going through it. And yeah, I think he's definitely committing to this lap.
Oh, right, okay, that's annoying, isn't it?
Well, it also says outlap, so I don't know. Maybe we have he has a bug, or maybe I'm the one who's got the issue. But his DRS is not enabled, at least not on my side of the screen. So P10 is where he's going to stay at best, at worst. Sorry. Final chicane. Doesn't touch the wall. There's a little bit of a train of cars. Yeah, he's definitely driving. Nope, there's definitely an issue. It's still there we go, it's over. Buemos has retired from the session, so and he's back in the pits. I think it might have been me that desynced then.
I really don't know. we won't know who is desynced and who's not. We'll find out in the race, eh?
Bit of a weird ending, but we do have Infamous on the top step of the pole position, with Yonti there in second, Yolta in third, and very uncharacteristically, Nicholas Longe in fourth place. Now, he did say to me beforehand that he was going to go world record or broke, so that's why he's not been able to achieve that final lap time that would have put him on pole. Is purely because he did invalidate right on that spot. So P4 is where he's going to start. Summit in P5, Brownie P6, Get On P7, Mizzo returning, gets solid P8, Pampernick P9, Buemels in P10, with Daniel getting best of the rest, Danico P12, Copy 13th, Dennis 14th, Kai 15th, JC in 16th, and I didn't catch the remainder, but it does already lead us into a very interesting and very wet Canadian Grand Prix.
Here we go. As promised, here is the weather. It is chucking it down out there. The umbrellas are out. My umbrella's out in the commentary box. I think yours is as well. So, yeah, we should be for a very exciting first opening lap. So it's going to get heavy, and then it's going to go into inters, and then it's going to go to dries. So I am going to hold on to this prediction for now, because I need to have a little bit of a think. I don't know. Usually in dry conditions, I can predict this right off the bat. I'm saying, yeah, that person could win. But it is, I've seen in most wet races, some people just buckle under the pressure and they just don't do well. So yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of a think about it. But Hypers is at the back of the grid, so Hypers has got you might think it's a disadvantage, but he might have an advantage, and if he doesn't get caught up in the action in front of him, he can gain quite a few spots, like I said. So we won't look at the tyres, because obviously they're all going to be on heavy wet tyres by the looks of things, so there's no point looking at that. And the beauty thing is, Ben, we're not going to know what the strategy is. We don't know when they're going to come in. We don't know when the inters are going to be put on their cars. You know, this is a Canadian Grand Prix at its best. It kind of reminds me of Canada 2011 at its finest.
I was just going to say that. This is very Jenson Button-esque moment here, where we have a potential Hypers to fill in those shoes. You know, he might actually achieve through safety cars. I mean, let's be honest, wet weather does tend to increase the amount of mistakes that the drivers make. It also puts them in a scenario where if they end up with, collisions, damage, retirements, DNFs, whatever you want to call them, there is an opportunity for safety cars to come out and really affect everything. Now, the driver of the day voting will open at the beginning of lap 25. So be ready with exclamation mark vote in the chat, but I am very interested to hear what you think is going to be the 1, 2, 3 in chat. So Twitch chat, get ready and go. I want to hear your 1, 2, 3 predictions. I'm going to go with Infamous for the win, Nicholas to get P2. Do I think Hypers can... No, I'm going to go Yolta P3. I don't think Hypers can bring it back to the podium.
Oh, you nicked my prediction. I don't know. I'm going to say Infamous. I'm going to say the same top two. I'm going to say...
Oh.
And I am going to put... Oh, it's tough. It is tough.
It is.
You're going to say Yolta. I'm going to say Yonti.
Okay. I mean, two Shizou drivers. Either way, Shizou's going to get a podium based on our guesses. I think it's going to be a lot of work for them to do nonetheless.
It's going to be like F2, so don't trust us on this, guys.
Right, 35 laps in the Canadian Grand Prix here. It's such an excitement to go as we see them all coming back onto the grid to get ready for, I can only imagine, to be drama as we get started with this incredibly wet Grand Prix. Then the lights are on. Infamous will be starting the charge with his teammate very much in tow. 3 lights on. It's go time here in Canada. Infamous has got a pretty solid start. It's slow away from everybody, just how much they are fighting for grip. There's a lot of battling going on further down the field. I'm seeing a lot of carnage already. We've lost a few drivers. Daniel, Danny, and Copy all involved in an incident. Daniel's brought himself back on track, but he has got a huge penalty as a result of that. Yellow flag, sector 1. I'm seeing Yolta sticking it into P3 still. He's not lost anything. Somebody in P4, so he's managed to gain stuff out of this now. Oh, there's a moment there. Nicholas has gone off the track. He's had to do a Vettel. He's lost the rear. He's falling down the order. He's going to have to avoid everybody's reset to track. That might end up getting him into some serious trouble. We'll find out about that later, but he's in dead last now. Nicholas Longay just did not get the start.
I know why. I've heard from his Jeff that Crow's wheels died.
Oh no!
So he has to use a pad for today's race.
Oh, that would explain everything. He's in serious trouble, and Nicholas Longay will not be in the running for any sort of top 3 positions right now. I'm seeing a Mercedes. That's Hypers. He's coming for it. Hypers is charging up towards Batos Gang. I don't think he's got wing damage just yet, but if he gets this all wrong going into the hairpin, and he's really made some places. In fact, I want to have a quick look at this. Position changes. The biggest winner so far is Dan, who's gone 6 places gain up into P12 right now. There's a big battle afterwards for the 5 places gain. Look at this. Dennis, Veloce Hypers and Zones all on 5 places gained. The biggest loser so far, as you can imagine, is Nicholas Longay. 15 places lost. We have now got an explanation as to why, but this is really starting to get hot, and already Infamous almost a full second ahead of his teammate.
Yeah, Infamous has got a very good start, and Dan has just made the move past Bremels. He could get past the Red Bull of Copacini as well pretty soon as well, if he can get the traction into these wet conditions. It is really hard to drive. You can barely see. You can't imagine what the drivers are going through right now. So and Hypers could go and see if he can get past Bremels pretty soon as well. He's going to have a look at least. Try to get around the inside, and what a job done from Hypers. Kept it clean in these wet conditions. This is why he's a high caliber driver. He's up into P12 now. Next on the radar for him is Dan pretty soon as well. We got Get Owned on Pampernick. Let me just jump to him. I can't because I keep going on Bob for some reason. But yeah, Get Owned is up into P6 now. So Mercedes, Ben, are making light work, but Pampernick, he gets a switchback done perfectly, and he's saying, no, thank you, you're not having that move, and he's going to try again. Oh my god, how are these guys doing it in these wet conditions? Get Owned is going to try and get the inside, and is he going to try and get the run into the final corner? Oh, look, Pampernick with that defense. It looks like Pampernick's going to get the move. Yes, he is right now, but fair play to these guys racing. We've got Dan in the pits due to his damage. I think we'll probably see Mizzo's in P8 as well. He's gonna have trouble with this.
He might actually gain from this though. He was right on the back of Get Owned there, coming through towards turn 1. There was a little bit of a touch there from Dennis into the back of Mizzo, which lost Mizzo the control of his car, and he did catch it, very well held, but he is struggling now due to the fact the Red Bulls are hot on his heels. That was a bit of contact with the wall there from Dennis. He still kept all of his wing intact, but he's very much struggling here. Lock up there from Dennis as well. Kai might actually get an opportunity as Kai and Hypers are going side by side. Kai's on the grass now. Oh, he's been clipped, and that's sent him round, but he's kept himself out of the wall, but he has got wing damage. That right end plate is missing, and Kai can't move. He's just got to watch everybody just pass him right now, and he falls into P19. It is sad times for him, but it's looking so good for Haas right now. 1-2 with Yolta right on the back of Yonti. Obviously, there is no DRS. It's far too wet for any of that scenario. Let's see if anything can happen.
Yeah, there's another battle happening for P14 as Daniel is trying to get past Bottas Gang, and he does that. So one racing point a little bit of a slide there. There might be some contact with Bottas Gang. Bottas Gang might go for the run. Once again, we'll have to wait and see. No, I think he's just a little bit too further back. Just chilling. Where did he come from? Just chilling. Just made the move stick. What? Oh my god. He's doing superb with the Williams right now. A little bit of touching from just chilling and Bottas Gang. He's dropped a little bit. I think he's got damage from that, as Danico has gone past him as well.
Yeah, just chilling managed to secure that position very well, and he's holding onto it right now as Yolta's still all over the back of Yonti. Yolta might actually get a P2 here. May have underestimated how good his capabilities are. He might just about hang in here, and if he can secure a solid P2, this would really bring... I mean, right now, Renault are loving life. Not as much as Haas are, let's be honest. Haas 1-2 Renault 3-4, but this is looking so good for them. Buemel's getting a penalty. That's not looking good for him. Penalties will take a massive effect here on this track, just purely because of how much it's so easy to cut on these, especially in these wet conditions. You just have no grip going out of the on the exit corners, losing the rear, and even in the braking, you can very easily just destabilize the cars. Yolta is ready to attack on Yonti then. The DRS obviously still not enabled due to how wet this is, but Mode 4 is enabled on his ERS. The tow being very much utilized. The issue you're going to have though is you have no visibility. What do you do here? You can't pass, you can't see a thing, and you have to try and get out of his line in order to avoid it. Don't touch the wall. He didn't. He kept it clean. And we go again.
Yeah, and whilst you were seeing those battles, Mizzo and Getone were having another little battle once again. It was kind of like round 2 and round 3 as well. But I've seen the biggest surprise this race is Dennis. He's still keeping it clean and trying to get past Mizzo right now, and trying to make sure that he gets some decent result out for Red Bull. To be honest, Red Bull does deserve some luck this season. They haven't had the best seasons, I got to admit, but the season is far from over yet, so there's still time to salvage this. We've got Yeltek and Yonti. They're going for a move pretty soon as well. Yeltek, we're underestimating him a little bit. Now he's going to have a chance to get for a move here around this back straight. Let's see if he can make head or tail of Yonti. It's going to be very, very close to and the Renault. Oh, that was almost like a Vettel and Hamilton move there, but luckily Yeltek managed to get P2. He did a Hulkenberg see you later there, and that is a Haas 1-2 turn into a Haas 1-3 there as Yeltek is up into P2.
Yeah, very well done from Yolta. There was a little bit of a contact there, a bit of a questionable contact, not quite necessary, but Yonti did lose out just a touch. Yolta is through. I think that was more Yonti just ran a bit deep than anything, but obviously we'll leave that to the stewards. And talking to the stewards have been in touch to inform us about the contact between Daniel and Danico, and Copy will be investigated after the race. Obviously, I didn't quite catch what happened on the stream. I caught the aftermath, and I could see all 3 cars very much in a lot of trouble. And as you can see, all the penalties are really starting to pour in now. Drivers are struggling in these wet conditions. Hypers has managed to get past Dennis, so he's now up in a P9. There is a Nicholas Longue on the back of this little train as well. But in the middle of it all is a Mercedes who's currently trying to work with his teammate to achieve a position gain on Mizzo. Mizzo's kind of sat in the middle of this, just trying to get past anybody he can. Right now, all he needs to do is focus on leaving Get-Owned in the rain, very far behind. The gap ahead is 3.2 after that, so he's no DRS again. We'll have an opportunity to push.
Oh, Bremels has lost it, I think. He's at the back now.
Yep, that's sad times for him. Right the way down. He lost a lot of places. Actually, Dennis is looking for a moment on Nicholas. Not going to get it. Nicholas is through now as well. He's done it. Nicholas is up in the P10 now, looking for an opportunity on Hypers. Now, bear in mind, these two are championship rivals. Currently, it's Nicholas leading it after Hypers DNFing in Monaco. But watch the exits here, though. This is where the pros start to push these guys around a little bit. Maybe he can gain on them. But, I mean, Mizzo is holding him back very well, and so is Get-Owned. This is very much a team game, and Get-Owned is playing that perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I think Get-Owned has got to play the team game, honestly. I think Hypers is the #1 driver at Mercedes, not going to lie. So, but Get-Owned, I think, is happy to play a Bottas role in this race and try and get Hypers up front. And then once he's done his job, then he can concentrate on his own race and try and gain some positions, which is what he's trying to do right now. Get-Owned is doing very well holding Mizzo up. I mean, and Hypers is also doing very well to try and get past Mizzo. But, you know, it's just really hard for Mizzo to pass Get-Owned right now, especially in these wet conditions. So, you know, team strategy is very, very important around Canada. And in the dry, obviously the tow is very crucial as well.
Yeah, it really is. It makes a massive difference. Mizzo currently sat there. I've just seen from the stewards that the incident between Hypers and Kai Bacchini on lap 3 is under investigation. So we'll see whether or not there is anything coming out of it. It sounds like it's going to be investigated middle of the race, so we may see a penalty be applied during. We'll see afterwards. However, keep an eye out for the mid. Oh, there's a big guy. Oh, that's a mistake and a half from Nicholas. He's hit right into the side of Mizzo there. Caused Mizzo to rotate, and that's allowed Hypers to run away with this now. I think Nicholas has wing damage. I would be very surprised if he doesn't.
Yes, he
that end
has.
plate must be missing. Yes, it absolutely is. That was a very late decision. Big mistake from him. Mizzo can rightfully be a little bit sad about that one, considering he was just there. That was all it was. He was the victim in all this. And Nicholas into the pits. He must be going for a wing change. Nothing more. And it's too early to go Inters, I think. Although he might try that gamble. What colour are they? They are blue, so he's staying on the wet tyres. Definitely the right call, in my opinion. I don't think you can try and challenge anything other than that.
Yeah, well, I think so. And Dan is not having the best of races either. He's got a 3-second time penalty. But yeah, I think Nicholas has just not had it hasn't been his day. But you get one of those races at times. You know, you can't expect to have a good race all the time, and you may have one bad race. It is a long season anyway, so he could look back from this, and I think Hypers is doing very well to start. He started from 19th, don't forget, and he's in 8th place already, so already he's getting some places gained and trying to do so well, because he was caught up in that incident and he almost got damaged from it. That means Get Owned has really pulled away from Hypers, and that means the team game that they're playing is not going to work right now unless Hypers can really start to pick up the pace. And if it's going to get to Inters, which is most likely, the track is really going to start to increase in pace at the moment. So this is Hypers' chance.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's starting to look very good here for the majority of the drivers. I mean, looking at Renault, I'm very impressed with how well they've performed so far. 2 and 5 is how we stand as Pampernick locks up massively. He's trying to avoid contact with the Renault I was just about to talk about, as Brownie's currently sat in P5 and very much cozy right now, sat behind some idiot. There's an opportunity here for him to take it later, but we've still got a very long way to go in this race. And just a reminder of the weather forecast. It will be heavy rain like it is right now for a little while longer, and then it will transition into light rain, and then moving on to dry tyres later on. The stewards have been in touch again about the Hypers and Kai Bicini contact. No further action has been decided, so no penalties will be applied. We'll see if it benefits Hypers in any way. Right now, Kai's felt the wrath of it, and he's down there in P17. I think he's still got wing damage as well. Yes, he does. Right side end plate is missing, so any left-hand turns are going to be a problem. His teammate, though, is currently battling with Zones. Zones has made it through. He's up now into P10. This is looking good for him. Oh, this is getting good.
This is getting good. And Zones is another one that got a quali ban. He started dead last and he's now on to 10th. I did say earlier, Ben, the ones that had quali bans were going to benefit from the chaos of the heavy rain at the start of the race. And yeah, well, apart from Dan, because obviously Dan had a quali ban, he's down in 18th. The other two have just had probably a really, really good race from their standards. 11 positions, 10 positions. You can't get any better than that, but I'm sure Hypers would want to do better, because I know he wants a podium in his sights. He wants to try and get points off Nicolas Longuet, his championship rival, and potentially also, he's also got to remember Infamous as well is going to be in the championship hunt pretty soon as well, because if Hypers and Nicolas start to make mistakes, Infamous can come at them and say, you know what, if you can't get good points, I could get good points, and start to close in on you. So that's what he's doing right now. 6.6 seconds behind you, clear of Yeltit though, so this is looking easy for Infamous now, but never say never yet. This is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we are keeping a firm eye on Infamous, and we would hate for anything to happen to him, but like I said, I've already put the money on it. Infamous is going to win this race, and right now his pace is demonstrating how much he is capable of doing that. Yolta's still there though, still with a P2, and you know, he only takes a couple of penalties to be applied to Infamous, which is on a track right now where penalties can very easily be given out, and I think that might be a deciding factor should this happen, especially for the remainder of the field. You've seen how many have poured in due to the corner cuts. I'm watching Pampernick still trying to work on Brownie. This battle has been ongoing for a very long time, and I've just been informed that Nicolas Longuet receives a 3-second time penalty for causing a collision with Mizzo, as we saw going into that hairpin. Kind of not surprised. That was a very, very late move. I don't know whether he got caught out and a mistake was made. Pampernick almost goes into the back of Brownie, but just gets caught out from the speed and is not able to get the overtake done on Brownie. It was very nearly there. Zones has decided to pit. Intermediates. All right, he's the first one to blink.
It looks like intermediate conditions from the weather, I think. It is hardly much heavy rain going on right now, so it could be the right decision. I don't know, but there's a few people that also gambled it as well. So we've got Danico and maybe Zones, who's... Zones actually might stay on the wet, actually. I don't know. It's impossible to tell. Yes, Zones on the wet. That's interesting. I was not expecting that from Zones, so we're going to keep close eye on Daddy and Zones, actually. So we will see a difference on whether the Inters or the wets is the best place to be right now. But you got to go on the Inters at some point. So, we've got an Alfa Romeo and a Renault going fighting side by side. This should get very, very spicy indeed as we go through turn 10 and 11.
Yep, indeed. I'm watching to see whether or not somebody can hold him back now. I mean, they have been going at this for quite a while, but just watch Zones' pace. I think he's made the right call here. Look at him. He closed into copy so quickly. He's already going to pass him before we even get to what is essentially going to be a DRS zone. Eventually, when we do get the dry tires in, Infamous is in. He's also gone for intermediates. This is the big call then. This is the one that's going to work out for him. Intermediates joined him. Brownie's joined him. Hyper's joined him. Pit lane is starting to get very lively now. Inters are definitely the tire to be on.
Yeah, good on Danny. I think everyone responded to Danny, to be honest, and it's paid off. So Yelta, obviously Yonti had to stay out because obviously his teammates in the pits, but Yelta I think allowed Brownie to pit as well, because there's some people that can't benefit from it, because you can't all pit at the same time, because double stacking doesn't work on this game, which is very annoying. But anyway, Infamous is in a net lead at the moment, and obviously we've got some idiot there that's pitted as well, so we've got half the grid pitted, half the grid has stayed out. Both of the Red Bulls have pitted, but they were both of them were a little bit further apart, so they could do that. It wouldn't lose in so much time, so they were the only team that could do that. And possibly the Racing Points as well, by looks of things. Yes, they are. So, yeah, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers who haven't pitted yet. Dan, 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane exit right line. I've got to call that so many times when I was racing in Canada. It is never easy to try and follow that line throughout the whole.
Oh, Hyper's in just chilling. Hyper's obviously on the inters now. Manages to get the inside line into the hairpin. Jesse's just trying to stick around there with him, and he cannot. The inters are just too good right now. Now, keep an eye out for Yolta. Now, we know that Infamous is obviously going to resume race lead as per, but where is some idiot? Where is Brownie? Are they going to catch up and pass Yolta as the gap was a bit further away than it is right now? I think Yolta's in trouble. I think he left it a bit too late to switch over, but I mean, the issue he had was, you know, you pit now, you're going to affect your other teammate who's currently battling for it. Ultimately, they're actually going to be really close. Yolta's going to come right up alongside. No, he's not. He's ahead by a second a bit. I thought that was the Haas there. I thought was actually Yolta, but it's not. Yonti's lost out.
Yeah, I think some idiots, I think I've got some idiot in P3, so probably some idiot's decent on my screen. So
no, he's P3 for me as well. I thought.
Oh, that's all right.
I thought that Yolta was. I thought Yolta was the Haas, but he's not. It's okay. Everything's all good. No panic. But P7. He's going on to Pampernick. 3/10 gap. Pampernick can't do anything right now other than just sit tight and wait. Blemmel's still on wets. Not sure if that's. He's apparently 6 laps down, so he must be decent for me.
Yeah, I don't know if he's decent or for you or decent for me. I can't really tell, but
oh, well, he's definitely decent for me because he's just getting hit around on my screen. Right, interesting. Anyway, as we were, Veloce Hypers is through now on Pampernick, so he's up into P6, and I may have counted him out early. I think I may have said Hypers is not going to make it back onto the podium. Right now, he's only 2 and a bit seconds away from Brownie. And the pace he's chucking down is really quite rapid. He's got a chance to redeem a lot here, maybe even get a P3.
Yeah, his lap time on the intermediate last lap was a 1:21.535. So compared to his lap time, which he set on the wets, his fastest lap time was 1:29.942. So only by a few tenths per second, so he is mega quick right now. Bottas gang, 3-second time penalty. More penalties coming up thick and fast, which could change the order of this race. And, you know, I think Bremels is decent on my screen as well because he's 7 laps down. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, oh, that's crucial. That 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings could actually put him outside of P2 as it stands. He's pretty much on that limit. There's another penalty there from Dan as well. I have seen a lot of penalties around the field, so it's really hard to work out who's got what right now. We will have to get a penalty update hopefully later. But right now, Infamous 11 seconds clear of P2. He is very comfortable in these wet conditions. It's whether or not he's going to be able to translate that as he chucks in a new fastest lap as well to just go with it, just to add more salt to the already existing wound. And Yolta's now trying to achieve anything here by just sitting where he is. Hypers with a time penalty. That might cost him later as well.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on those penalties pretty soon, but I'm not going to look at it yet. I think there's going to be a few people that are not going to get the penalties. but I won't be surprised if pretty much everyone gets penalty there. So yellow flag in sector 3,
Who's that?
which is probably moving out. That probably Bottas Gang has probably had a bit of an off. Yes, it is. So because Nicholas Longate just passed him and up into 14th place, and yeah. So
He hasn't got wing
and he's at
damage,
the
but
fastest lap.
he's not been he's been challenged as well by Dan, who's just gone around the outside. Yeah, Nicholas starting to find pace again. I know he's having issues with his wheel, so that's why he's so far down the order as a result. He's having a transition between pad and wheel because his wheel keeps disconnecting, I'm told, so that explains a few things. Infamous, though, still very cozy. The thing I'm keeping an eye on is this battle now for P3 is a 4-car wide battle with Pampenic just teetering on the edge of it. He could potentially bring himself into it, but Hyper's looking like he could be the fastest out of the lot of them. Just has to find a way to close in and pass them all.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, Hypers, he's one of those guys who likes to go for big sends, and sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. So, you know, but he's got a bit of a more of an advantage right now because obviously he's one of the quickest guys I have seen in a while. I mean, even in the open lobbies, he produces wins after wins after wins. But we might not see it today, but I'm sure he'll be pretty pleased with himself with the positions he has gained today. So he's having a lot of fun racing, that's for sure. But he would want to be in the podium soon. He is getting close to potentially Yonti as well. I mean, so we've got Brownie and Yonti in his sights as well. So Hypers is just going to wait just a little bit and wait for anyone to make a mistake, and then he's ready to pounce and make the move.
Yeah, Mizzo is also working on the zones as well. That gap is very close between them. They can see the rain has to... Oh, he's just got a penalty for cutting that bit too tight. He is working quite nicely towards this. This is to double up his points currently. I mean, he's P10 with 1 point. He's looking to try and double up and get P9 and get the 2 pointers, but Zones is currently holding him back, looking to achieve anything here. Yonti's now fallen outside of a second margin on some idiot, so the toe is going to be far less active for him than the guys behind him, and that's going to start spelling issues for him. I don't think Yonti has wing damage, as Kai sadly picks up a penalty down in P19 at the minute. Nope, Yonti doesn't have wing damage, but Brownie's all over him. He is ready to go. As soon as Yonti makes a mistake, that's when Brownie's going to pounce. He's going to absolutely go for it. Yonti's brought himself back into that 1 second margin there. So whatever mistake he made, he has recovered.
That is good from them. I mean...
Oh! I don't know what happened there. Zones just broke, and Mizzo gets wing damage as a result. I mean, it looked like Zones moved out of the way to let Mizzo through, went onto the brake pedal, and as a result gave damage to... I mean, you can see his Zones feels really bad, and he's like, I'm so sorry, please go. But the damage is done.
Yeah, I mean, the damage was there. He tried to go a little bit too aggressive, and it just did not work for him. I mean, you know, sometimes you got to take risks, and the risk that he took was obviously Zone stayed on the wet tyres, and well, he's still on the wet tyres on my screen. He's probably on the Inters now, but
yeah, for everyone on my screen.
Yeah. The lobby is having a few issues with me at the moment with a few people on wrong tyres, but there we go. Zone's going to try and get for the move again anyway. Going into turn 9 and 10, a little bit of touching wheels, and once again, looks like Mizzo is just about going to get a move on the inside. They touch once more, I mean, but that's allowed, of course, you know. If they don't get damage, then that's absolutely fine. Zones has just got a better entry speed going into that DRS straight. Don't forget it is disabled in the wet. He's going to get the outside. Oh, they're so close going into that final chicane. It looks like Mizzo holds on to P9 for now.
So there was some changes happening between Zones and Mizzo, but ultimately Zones is not wanting to pass Mizzo right now because he feels guilty for the contact. Yes, they are pretty much on the back of each other, but nothing's changing. Dan's retired from the session. That's in Wall of Champions. If you go on board with Daniel, you'll see him. There he is, very much buried. Is that a safety car we have? No, it's just a yellow flag sector 3 virtual safety car. The VSC. Yeah. Anybody going to come in? I don't think anybody's going to come in here. Be interesting to try. But that was right when Hypers and Brownie were about to attack Yonti, and nothing changed. It was very close between them, but everything stays as is. First DNF though of the session.
Yep, but to be honest, I was kind of expecting Dan to DNF. It went from bad to worse. He wasn't enjoying life on the track, and you know, it would have been more harm than good for him to carry on like that. So fair play to him, and he's out the session, and he's just got to focus on next week, really, which I know he can bounce back from this. So I still have faith in Dan in the McLaren.
So looking at the position changes right now, the biggest winner so far is Hyper's, 13 places gained for him. The biggest loser is sadly Buemels. He's lost 10, but he is currently not in the session, I'm told. He has actually got network issues, and that would also suggest why he's so far down. The race has been resumed, though. It is go time now, and Hyper's again on the back of Brownie. Brownie again on the back of Yonti, but Yonti is just a bit too far away from Samidiot to be able to benefit from that toe. So it is going to be a little bit easier for the drivers behind him to actually attack. Now keep an eye out as well, because Dennis, throughout Mizzo and Zun's having a scrap, there is now an opportunity for Dennis to attack again.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis wants that point, and he's going to He's going to be hungry for it. He's going to try his best, and that's not going to happen if you get a penalty like that, Dennis. You just you were de-proved 1 point right off the bat, Dennis. What have you done? But he might have to wait a bit longer to get his first point, but we'll see.
Yonti and Brownie are swapping places. Brownie went too deep on the inside of Yonti, and that's actually allowing Hypers and Brownie to be scrapping now. Yonti's resumed where he was. Hypers is trying to get the drag race down here with Brownie, but Brownie looks like he's got less wings than Hypers, because look at the pace he's chucking away right now. Hypers is going to go for a send, surely. He's trying to go alongside of him. He has to back out. It's the right decision. Try and get him again later, but after all of that battling, they stay exactly as they were before. Nothing changes just yet.
Oh my! This takes us back to the good old days where we seen Yonti and Brownie fighting for good measures. I mean, Brownie, he's had bad luck and he's up into P5. I mean, he's doing brilliantly, but he's got to be careful though. He's got Hypers right on the back of this. He can see this as an opportunity to go for the move. Brownie's got to get that move done sooner or later, because the more they start battling, the more Hypers is going to reel them in.
Well, you say that, but Hypers is struggling. He's not able to get the pace down that he needs in order to pass these guys. If you put him in the dry conditions, that's when he starts to come into his element and starts to really just take off. But yeah, right now he's not able to do anything more than what he is doing. It's just sitting in the slipstream of Brownie. Although I'm looking at the rain. The rain has started to ease off a little bit. There is still a lot of spray being kicked up. It's not yet dry tyre weather at all, but we are starting to transition to that point, and we're also getting nearer to the Driver of the Day votings being open. So bear it in mind, in a few more laps time, I think it's lap 25 if I remember it correctly, we will be having the Driver of the Day votes open. So start thinking about who has really delivered. I mean, right now, Infamous is the man to go for. He's just done everything perfectly. He's not really had a race to shout about, but he has driven very cleanly.
Yeah, but don't count your chickens before you hatch. I'm going to wait until pretty much the penultimate lap before I make my decision, because most of the times in most races you vote for someone and then they have a really bad last couple of laps. So just, if I was you, if you're not sure about Driver of the Day, just wait until the penultimate lap.
Dennis is going for it. He couldn't get it. There was a gap. Zones left it open. Now Zones is not passing Mizzo. Zones probably could have passed Mizzo a while ago, but obviously he feels very guilty for the damage he caused Mizzo due to trying to let him pass. There's contact between them, and that's a brake check there by accident from Zones into Dennis. Mizzo was slow out the corner. Zones just clipped his rear, caused Mizzo to have a bit of a wobble. Dennis got caught out by the pace of them, and now they are still scrapping, but Dennis might be able to benefit from this if a little gap just opens.
Come on, Dennis. I mean, is this the opportunity to make the move? Right here and right now. Oh, you see, that was a bit of a save there. He almost hit the wall. As he didn't hit the wall. Is he going to go for the wrist now? No, but I think the best move for him is to stay behind Zones. Zones has got to make the jump now before Dennis can make sense of him. So let's see what Dennis is going to do. We're right behind Dennis making the move on Zones. He's getting better entry speed into the straight. Here he goes onto the right-hand side. Is he going to go for the attack? Yes, he does. Is he going to hold on to that move?
Oh, well
yes,
done.
He does. Dennis with a sensational move up into P10 in the points for now, but for how much longer?
Yeah, very well done from Dennis there to be able to get into the top 10. Nicholas Longe seems to have found his mojo suddenly, and he's set the fastest lap time, 1:18.992. Again, that will be beaten later when the dries start to come on. It's just whether or not anybody else is going to be able to do that. Hypers now has worked his way even closer to Brownie, but still we stay as is. No change just yet. Look at the ERS usage that Hypers has, though. It makes you question now whether or not he's actually pushing or not, whether he's just biding his time, trying to just get what he can, get on his teammates, just got himself another penalty. I think that's his second. We'll get a penalty rundown hopefully later. Right now, nothing's changing, despite how close they are, although something might change. Dennis is on the back of Mizzo. Mizzo is struggling. I think he's very deflated as a result of the contact he had earlier. He's currently P9. There's wheel banging going on, and Dennis is taking the outside line here. That's a little bit of a slide from Mizzo, but nothing too tragic. Squeeze up to the outside. There's a very small amount of tarmac, but somehow Dennis stays on it. Mizzo still leading from these two for P9 at least, and Dennis gets the slingshot. Has got the outside line, which is the more optimal in terms of pace, but not the more optimal in terms of track position, and that's exactly why, as Mizzo will dominate that corner, and it will be resumed as was, but now Zones has a chance to get Dennis. Can he pass him? Looks like the answer is a firm no, as Dennis is still P10, Mizzo is still P9, and Zones is still just watching it all unfold.
This is like a few laps ago, except Dennis was on the back of this, but this time Zones is on the back of this. I mean, who's going to come better of it? I don't know. We're going to watch as the race unfolds who's going to benefit from it. Mizzo must be stuck in an ultimatum right now. He's got to try and defend. This almost ended in a shunt, I think, as Mizzo, just holds on. I'm not sure if Dennis has damage, but here comes Zones. Zones senses this. He's seen that Dennis and Mizzo have made a mistake, so here's his chance to make the move, and he's not going to go for the move as of yet, so he's going to pretty much wait for a better opportunity to try and go for the move. Dennis going really defensive here, going into turn 8 and 9, and looks like Zones has gone. There's contact for Mizzo and Zones. Zones hit the back of Mizzo.
Dennis can get this. Go.
And Crowan just chilling got past him as well. So Zones, that was a huge disadvantage from him. He was on the advantage when he was on the back of Mizzo, and then Dennis overtook him, and he was on the back of Dennis. And now he's not overtaken by not just Mizzo, not just Dennis, but Nicholas Longe, and just Chin as well. That was heartbreaking for Zones.
Yeah, he was indeed. I think he's just had a few too many mistakes made here today. Nicholas is so close now to the back of these two. Here's an opportunity for him to push past as soon as he gets one. There's also a scrap going on still for P4, but everything's still as it was. Nothing's changed up there. I mean, the Hypers is a little bit closer than he was before, but we're still in wet weather conditions. We're still on intermediate tyres. We're still watching this battle unfold here for P9 as Mizzo's going to have to defend the outside. He's not got really anywhere to go. Squeezes Dennis to the inside, and again he's back through Mizzo. I think that's actually Nicholas who's trying to get involved in the inside as well, and you can see the tank slapper from Nicholas. This is allowing JC to close in on this now. There might be, if there's a big crash between these two, there's an opportunity for Just Chillin to get up into P9 here, which would be a huge point jump for Williams in his, I guess, debut race back in this season. The driver of the day voting is now open. Make sure you type exclamation mark vote in the chat, but we have to watch out because Dennis is going around the outside. Mizzo's stuck to the inside. Dennis has got the drive. Oh, he's going for it. He's away, and now comes Nicholas right through past Mizzo. Here's Dennis trying to hold all of these cars back. He's got to drive the widest car on the track, but Mizzo's been caught. He gets slapped into the wall, and that's wing damage for Mizzo. His race is pretty much over. That was just a little bit too aggressive. I think they were trying to go 3 wide down the back straight. It just didn't work out, and Mizzo is the victim in all this. I think we may see a retirement through frustration, but I'm seeing Just Chillin. He's inherited a position. He might inherit more if this continues. Oh, I don't think we can take any more.
No, guys, just stop, please. I mean, this has been going on for most of this race. I mean, you know, 3 wide into the start-finish straight, just not mixed. Definitely not. I could see already, once they were going to go make the move, when Dennis was going to make the move, and then Nicholas Longe, it was going to end in tears, and it did for Mizzo and got caught up in it. So, yeah, if you are racing in Canada, don't try that move again. We've got Hypers. He's still in 6th place, biding his time at the moment. Not going to try and move on Brownie until the time is right. Right now, Yonti's still looking good in P4, and so is Samidi as well. And you can see how everyone else is battling. The top 2 are just running away with it.
They really are. I mean, this is starting to look very spicy now. for the final points positions, as Dennis has done a very good job to pass Mizzo. Mizzo drove very defensively, very fairly, I would say as well. But now, oh, actually, I've just realised. Look what's not happening anymore. There is no rain.
It's dry.
It's stopped.
It's dry.
Well, hold on. It's definitely not dry, but it's a moment of choice for Mizzo. Sorry, for Nicholas to try and get past on Dennis. That was a very aggressive overtake, and as a result, Dennis gets rotated, and JC is now into a points position.
Yay!
He's doing what he needs to. Dennis loses so much. I wouldn't be surprised if Nicholas gets even more penalties due to his aggressive nature in this race, at least. And yeah, he's P9, but that's before penalty. Oh, zones. That's a call.
What? I think he must have had damage and his next tyre was the soft, so he's probably could go to that. But I've made that mistake in one track. I can't remember which track it was. It was in Brazil, and I thought the rain was going to dry off a bit more, and it didn't, and it really hurt me. This could benefit worse on zones. I think he's going to start to struggle. So yeah, it's not looking good for the McLaren boys in the office. Zach Brown is not going to be happy at all.
He's not at all. Danico getting the 3-second time penalty. This battle now for P5 is starting to get a little bit more busy. As I mean, we've got to watch out for when it comes to the pit stops. So Yolto is currently enough time clear from his teammate to not impact the pit stop if they were to, I guess, double stack, or at least pit on the same lap time, that is. But that could all change as the track evolves and track changes. We need to see how well this is going. Now, I want to see zones and see if he's handling it. Right now, it looks like he's really, really not. Copy is closing in, although he looks like he's having a very uncomfortable race right now. Is that race leader? Oh, it is. That's race leader. Infamous has now lapped Copy. He's ahead, and I mean, I guess it's quite normal to see Williams being lapped, isn't it? You see it in the official.
Yeah, it is.
You're seeing it in this one.
Yeah, it is really. It's kind of like it kind of reminds me it's realistic, but it's not. So there's a Haas on top, and usually the Haas is near the bottom, so not quite realistic. But as Copy gets past Zones, and I think Zones is probably lapped as well due to the fact that he went into the pits. I'm just gonna go on board with Zones now just to see if he can cope. If he goes into turn 1 now, let's see how he approaches turn 1. Is he gonna struggle? Yes, he's just a little bit slow on this. I can see some bits of the track are dry, but you can see there's bits on the track you just seen there where it's just wet. So it's going to get to a stage in a few laps time. Yes, it'll be the right time to pit, but for now you can't just because you're sliding. So yeah, I think we'll see a few people pit in a minute, but Zones did the wrong thing pitting early, but it happens. It is really hard to predict in stuff like this.
Well, I mean, the thing to note from our perspective is when the DRS is enabled, that is when you should absolutely be on dry tyres already. I think we're only about a lap or so away from this, to be honest, because Canada is a track where it can dry out very quickly. I had this in my race myself just on Tuesday, where it transitioned from wet to dry again very, very quickly. And the medium tyres lit up. Yeah, well, yeah, you saw yourself, you commentated it. It was a very great race to see. I want to see, though, if anybody's going to take the chance here down at the back. Kai's chosen not to, neither has Danico. I feel like Copy should do it, and I feel like he should do it probably about now. The track looks dry enough. Mizzo has received a 3-second time penalty for causing a collision with Dennis on lap 23, so he will have more issues heading his way as a result of the contact he had. I imagine that there'll be some other penalties applied later on.
I think the stewards are going to be busy. Yeah,
they're going to be very active. I mean, that's what the rain does, doesn't it? It was Kai and Danny swapping places. Danny, I think, gave the position back to Kai, potentially, or Kai went down the inside. But this was Danny attacking Kai before, and it's going to be Danny attacking Kai again.
Oh, Hypers and Panic in the pits.
Is this soft time? Is it dry time?
It could be. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. They've gone softs, both of them.
Oh, that's game-changing. If Hypers gets this right, he could be on to possibly a podium.
I mean, this is a call and a half. Absolutely huge call here. Get Owned may have been shot in the foot here. Honestly, whenever you're transitioning from wet to dries, or the other way around, you absolutely need to double stack, because you'll lose so much time if you don't.
Oh!
What?
That is close in the outside the pit lane. Panic's going to try and get past Hypers, and I think he does. But they're still going to fight around turn 4 and 5. They are. Oh my word. This race is not even spicy enough. I mean, and looking at the front, how is Infamous gaining on Yeltec, and it's still dry track? This is insane from Infamous right now.
But this is where Yolta could actually benefit massively. If he was to pit right this second, he will go very cleanly in here and get away with it. The incident between Nicholas and Dennis. Yep, there you go. This is him in. This is massive. This is an opportunity now for Yolta.
Oh.
Look where Infamous is. He's just gone through turn 3. And now he's in a situation where he's going to lose time. Yolta could close in dramatically here. And he's already going to be... He needs to go, though. He's already gone. Good, that's fine. Mizzo's got a 3-second time penalty as well. This is where Yolta might be able to change things up. 5 laps to go with Yolta freshly on dry tyres. The soft tyre of all as well. He's going to be able to chuck in some incredible lap times. Nicholas Longay speeding in the pit lane. He's in trouble. And I really want to see Yolta do something here. I really want to see him just charge through. Interesting that some people have got mediums. Yeah, I think so. I think he can do it.
I think he, I don't know. He's going to be, you know, Infamous. I know he's good at the wet tyres, but I don't know. He made the wrong call, but I think he's going to be a little bit too close for comfort. I think he just got away with it. I think so, you know, but. You never know. Yolta will be amazed if he gets a podium, but we'll see.
Right,
as Infamous pits, so yeah, he should be fine.
I think he's covered him off, but the gap may have reduced quite significantly now as a result. It entirely depends on how good the outlap was from Yolta and whether or not he's able to just charge close enough and get... I feel like he's still going to be quite a few seconds off, but Yolta was very quick in the qualifying. Infamous was that bit quicker, though. That's the worry. And yep, he's already on his way out of the pits. Let's see.
Where's Yolta? Yolta is start-finish straight.
Yep, Infamous is already... He's more than fine. In fact, the gap is pretty much the same. It didn't even... Oh, no, it has dropped. Look at that. Yeah, he has lost a lot of time. He was, what, 16, 17 seconds ahead, if I remember correctly? I could be wrong.
Yeah.
12 and a bit. So he has lost a huge amount of time. Hyper's on the back of some idiot. This is an overtaking opportunity down the inside now. Oh, they're going to go too wide. Oh, right the way through turn 1 and 2.
Oh.
He's still holding around the outside. Hypers is still taking the turn, but some idiot defends him like an absolute champion. And I'm looking out for Yonti, who's just a little bit further up the field. If some idiot can still get the pace in, he might be able to gain things from this, as Brownie's lost out quite dramatically. He's on the medium, so his pace is going to be lacking a little bit. And same for Yonti. If some idiot can chuck in some crazy lap times, Yonti may be in some serious trouble.
Yeah, I mean, this was looking like to be a Haas 1-2, but it was Haas 1-3, you mean? But it probably might not if some idiot can try and get the moves. Now, I'm just going to quickly look on penalties just to see how many penalties each of the drivers got. And Infamous's race couldn't have got any better. No warnings, no penalties, he's squeaky clean. Yolta, he has got 1 penalty, but is that going to affect Yonti? Because Yonti...
Oh, hold that thought 1 second. Hold that thought 1 second, because Hypers is going for it. He's going for a very late move into the final chicane. He's done it. Very well executed there from Hypers. He's got DRS as well on the home straight to help secure that. So let's see if Pampernick now has an opportunity to attack some idiot potentially. These things could spice up even further, as Yonti's just set the fastest lap. Even on these medium tyres, he's able to chuck in these lap times, which just shows that, you know, despite the tyre change, despite the fact he's on different grip levels, these guys are chucking in fast laps, and then Nicholas chucks in an even faster one. He's still going to get points today, but this gap between the drivers is going to drop substantially, considering how much further up Hypers is in comparison. But 3.3 seconds is just chilling. He's got even faster than that. He's now set the new fastest, 1:13.0, and he's in with a chance of a point for P10. So that point for the fastest lap could very easily go his way. Brownie's on the back of this battle as well for P4, effectively. Although that Hypers is pulling away. Samidia is almost 9/10 back now. And Zern says fastest lap. This is just going to keep improving. As the track increases in grip levels, this is just going to keep getting better and better for the majority. Brownie makes a mistake there through the final hairpin, and that's caused him to lose a little bit of time to Pampernick. Nothing too drastic. 7/10 is the current gap, and I think we're about to see that drop a little bit further.
Yes, we will. More crucially, for some idiot and Hypers has a penalty, some idiot doesn't. So if some idiot can try and close into Hypers just a little bit, he could be ahead of him, and some idiot would get P4, because I don't think some idiot has any... No, he doesn't have any penalties. So some idiot will get potential P4, which will be a good result for him. I mean, he got a P3 in Monaco, and then he could end Canada with a P4. He's having some good, consistent runs at the moment, which is what we like to see from the American drivers. Get-own has a 3-second time penalty. We've got 2 more laps to go. This couldn't get any better than this. We might see more fastest laps. We may see battles for the line. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, as we could see position change after position change as the final few laps heats up.
Well, the thing we've not yet factored in, like you were saying earlier, is the penalties coming into it. They can easily change dramatically, considering as Get On is on the back of Brownie, it's not yet in a position to attack, but the gap is more than low enough for him to be able to use the DRS and the ERS to take Brownie down another position and put him into P8. P7 would be great for the Mercedes driver, especially considering Hypers is currently sat P4, but he's done so well. Looking at the position changes, he's gained 15 positions, which is just phenomenal. But this is your last chance to get the driver of the day vote in, exclamation mark vote in the chat, and see who you have voted for. Because I mean, Yonti's just set fastest lap, and then Hypers beats it with immediately with a 1:10.6, so he is flying right now. As Infamous is also faster. He just, you know, the track just keeps getting quicker and quicker. And these drivers are getting quicker and quicker, especially as the fuel starts to disappear. Dennis on the back of Just Chillin' now. This is for the final points position. Just Chillin' had the fastest lap early. He's not got it this time, so he could really do with this point. But Dennis is ready to attack. Going in towards turn one. He's going to send it. He has to. He backs out. He's looking for the outside line, and Just Chillin' defended it. A bit of a lock up there from Dennis on the left-hand side, and that's still caused him to stay in P11. No point for you, sir. At least not yet, but he's still got a lap and a half to go. Come on. Let's see what you got, Dennis.
It is going to be tough for Dennis to see if he can get that point. We don't know what the other penalties are like for the field, as we just seen Danny getting another penalty as well. We're on the final lap then, as we've got Daniel and Zones going at it. Zones can salvage another position in this race and forget what happened towards the middle of the race, and he can. Just Chillin' and Dennis are also going for it as well. We don't care about penalties at this stage. We're going to see a battle on track. We've got Brownie and Pampernick fine, but let's just watch Dennis and Just Chillin', because it is a fight for the point at the end of the day. Dennis wants a point and Just Chillin' got a point. Whoever gets a point out of those two, that'll make history right now. So, you know, I don't know who's gonna get it anyway. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as Infamous goes through to 9 and 10 right now. Oh.
Watch Dennis, because he's going for it this time. This is Just Chillin' in big trouble. Dennis got such a good run through that final chicane. He's alongside of him going in towards turn one. He's got the move done. Just Chillin' just nudges the back of him a little bit. Just Chillin' still trying to get back into this, trying to get that point position back. It was so close to him. And Dennis, this is before penalties are applied. I think Just Chillin' will get it back due to penalties. But again, this is all about track position initially. As Infamous has crossed the line, he does take the win. Yolta will take P2. I don't think that Yonti has enough penalties to, least penalties in order to achieve anything over Yolta. Here we go, up to the line. Still waiting for it. Yolta's crossed. There's a copy following him as well. That's Yonti now making it to it. Dennis gets a penalty. That might be the difference maker between them. Keep an eye out for Just Chillin' as he's coming up to the hairpin. He might go for a move here. This is an inside line. He's got it. Just Chillin's got the move done. He's still alongside him, actually, wheel to wheel. But no, he cannot get the exit. Here's the DRS being open for Just Chillin'. He wants the track position, not just from penalties as well. He's already got the pace. He's through on him into the final chicane. And Dennis has got no answer unless he sends it late, which he just cannot do. But he's still trying. Cannot achieve it. And Dennis, they're still charging to the line. Just Chillin' will take P10. Holy, right the way to the end.
Wow.
Now Bottas gang will make P12. Mizzo will take P13. And this is all before the stewards get a hold of anybody. Are there any shocks around? Not at the minute. But wow, what a Grand Prix. Oh, Just Chillin' with such a nice recovery to get back into that top 10. That point went beautifully for him. Oh, here we are then. That's the podium for you. Two Haas drivers on the top steps. That is obviously Infamous taking the top one with Yonti there in third place. Yolta gets second. And not only does Infamous get the race win, he also gets driver of the day, this time with 29% of the vote. So well done to Infamous for that driver of the day vote. Wow. Let's move to the standings, shall we, before we go into interviews. Yep. As you can see, Infamous takes the win with Yolta there in second. Only one penalty applied to him, and Yonti got the same, and so did Hypers. So it's a 1 and 2 and 3. Infamous, Yolta, Yonti, and then Hypers in fourth. Samidia in fifth, who didn't get any penalties, so very good job from him. Brownie taking P6, Pampernick taking P7. Get On in P8, Nicholas P9. Just Chillin'. As you saw, that very dramatic race to the end, despite it being already sorted through penalties anyway. Just Chillin' does get P10 physically on track as well. Dennis takes the best of the rest award with Bottas gang in 12th, Mizzo in 13th, Daniel 14th, Zones 15th, Copy 16th, Kai Bacchini in 17th, Danny in 18th, Wemmel's 19th and Dan in 20th place, but he did DNF from the session. Wow, what a Grand Prix that